Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kyle here with another Genshin Impact video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the new rated banner that's about to drop for Klee. And I'm pretty excited about it. I think Klee's going to be really good. A few things I like to consider before I go for a banner are first, is the character fun? I don't care how meta defining or if the character's really good, unless the character's fun. Especially games like a game like this. There's no PvP or anything like that. Like there's no, it's just, is that character enjoyable to play? And I think she's one of the few mage characters in the game. There's only, especially a mage character that's like a main DPS. The only one I can think of is like Ningwing here, and I think she's really cool. Pretty dope and being kind of slept on. So if you want that kind of play style, don't want to go for Klee, I think Ningwing is another alternative that kind of has a similar thing going for her. So definitely keep her in mind if you happen to pull her. And then next is going to be the 4-star characters on that banner. How good are they? And I think, and so first of all, let's talk about who they are. We got Noelle, we got Xingqiu, and then we also got Sucrose. And I would say in order of usefulness or how good they are, I'd probably go Sucrose, Xingqiu. It's kind of a wash. I think they're both really good. And then Noelle kind of being like a tier below. But I think they all are solid characters for sure. Like I think at first, people kind of slept on Noelle, but there's been some other content creators building her out, and she actually seems pretty solid. Nothing too crazy. I think characters that are like slept on, and then people start to use them. It kind of like it feels like an overcorrection in how much hype they're getting. But I think Noelle is a very solid character. Xingqiu out of these three is probably gonna be the one I'm gonna build. I just need another healer for Abyss based on my team right now. The only healer I really got is Barbara. I kind of got a pseudo healer in Bennett here, but if that's the only character you take on a team that you have no other healing, you won't be able to take advantage of his really good attack buff from his ult. Also, it's, especially if you're taking damage, it's really hard to keep proccing it. You really want to be, snowballing to get that elemental, energy charge going. And if you're constantly worried about death, it's really tough. So definitely want to get up Xingqiu here because I just think he would pair well as my like last slot for that second healer in Abyss. And reason being is he actually has a pretty good kit here. Let's go over his moves really quick. So the main thing about him is he doesn't move here where the cooldown is 21 seconds, but it lasts 15. And he puts these swords around you that are going to give you damage resistance. And then when you ult, those swords are going to also do damage. Which I think is a pretty cool combo there. Then when the swords break, they heal the character based on 6% of Xingqiu's maximum health. And then also gives this passive here about increased Hydra damage. But I think the combination of healing and damage resistance is pretty cool. And then with like Dialog, for example, I've been really liking running Barbara and Dialog to get a good Vaporize proc. So you'll be going, Water into Fire is the 1.5, and then the 2.0 would be the other way around, but there's really no good main damage dealer water character at the moment. So I think and then Dialog's just so good that taking the 1.5, I think is really solid. And then being able to pair Barbara with like other characters, like in my second team with Keqing, is probably going to be my plan. So I'm kind of excited that he is going to be in the banner here because when you're going for like the drop rates are so bad in this game, if you're going to be going for Klee, odds are you're probably going to be going to pity, which means you're going to be pulling a lot on this banner. You're going to be getting a lot of, you're going to either get this character or you're going to be getting multiple constellations of this character. As we saw with the last banner going for Venti, you get a ton of the constellations of, Barbara, Zingli, and Fischl here. I thought last banner overall, the quality of characters was better, but this banner is still good. I think a lot of new players probably pulled on that Venti banner, and I've been noticing that people don't really have a main damage dealer unless they got lucky, got Chungyong, Razor, or got really lucky with like Dialog or Keqing here. They're kind of either using Fischl as their main damage dealer, which is not bad by any means, but I think she really shines the most as a support, and then another support character here that can also function as a main damage dealer, but there shines as a support. So I think having Klee as your 5-star, that's also your main DPS. I think that's kind of nice. You get this 5-star character, and then Venti, for example, it's like, oh, cool, I pulled them, and then most encounters, the optimal thing to do is to like Q the knee and then switch off. So I think it'd be a lot more fun to play as Klee because you actually get to play with her, which I think is pretty dope. And then just one little tidbit as well is like she's a fire character. I've been liking to always pair my fire character with another fire character. I think they synergize really well together because of the elemental resonance. I think fire has one of the better ones where it's when you have 2 on your team, you're going to get 25% damage bump between. So I like Zhengli and Dialect together. They just seem to pair well. Whereas I wanted to do Bennett, but since Dialect is so up in there, you take damage, and if you take him, then it's like hard to justify taking him and another healer with you. So I think he's going to pair well with Klee because he's going to be able to put his Fantastic Voyage away from the enemies. You'll be able to stand in it, cast your moves, do a ton of damage because you're getting this modifier here, where you're getting the attack bonus ratio of when you actually level it. I believe it goes up to 70%. So 70% of his base attack is going to be applied to as attack to Klee, and then she'll be able to just unload her full combo and wipe away the enemy plus the 25% attack boost. I think it's gonna be really solid. And then also, like lastly, I just kind of want to touch on Sucrose. I think Sucrose is a very good character, especially with like these air characters. They really don't start to shine until late game when you get this set bonus on them. So I wanted to just point this out is because I've been noticing people are saying like Venti feels underwhelming. And let me back up really quick and talk about Sucrose's what makes her unique is when you level her up, she gains elemental mastery. But then her whole point of her kit is that she's applying elemental mastery to the rest of your team, which is nice because elemental mastery, what it does is it's improving the elemental synergy combos. Like for example, superconduct or overload or melt or shatter. It's applying those, but usually you put elemental mastery on a support, but then they're the one that needs to proc it. So there's elemental reactions like electric. Those ones are, it doesn't matter which way you apply them. So just having the electric person apply them is not a big deal. But the ones that do matter are going to be like melt and vaporize because the order of operations matters. So you go water into fire, it's a 1.5x, but you go fire into water, then it's a 2.0. Or you go, a cryo into fire, then that's a 2.0, but you go fire into cryo, it's a 1.5. So still a damage boost, but the order matters considerably in how much damage you do. But with her, and so when you're doing the damage dealer usually does not build elemental mastery. It's just not efficient. There's better stats. So you're stuck not having elemental mastery. So for example, 75 elemental mastery on Dialog here, you're only increasing the vaporize and melt by 14%. So in his case, he's going to be proccing the melt, or in his either one. Doesn't matter based on your team. In my case, I usually proc vaporize. I don't run him with a cryo. If I had like Chi or something like that, I would definitely be proccing the melt, and that would be optimal. But if you have Sucrose on the team, Sucrose is going to give a whole bunch of elemental mastery over to Dialog. So then I don't need to itemize poorly and put all this elemental mastery if I want to take advantage of doing melt. But then the modifier of that also increased damage is going to go up pretty considerably. So like, let's say, for example, 75 here, we got a Visual here with almost 200. Boom, that's 34%. That's double the amount there. And you're going to be doing like either 1.5 or 2x damage plus an additional 34% damage on there. Or if you even go higher up with elemental mastery, you can go further beyond that. And this, especially that's going to be the standard going forward based on, as people's gears go up more, you're going to be seeing some crazy numbers out of people that do a combo like that. And then lastly, too, that air characters have is they have this really good set bonus, that 4-piece set bonus here that changes a lot about how you would view them right here in this. This is what I wanted to get to first, but I wanted to explain the character. This set really changes air characters because first of all, you get the wind damage bonus. Then you also get on the 4-piece, you get increases swirl damage by 60%, decreases opponent's elemental resistance to the element infused in the swirl by 40%. So you're decreasing their elemental resistance of like, let's say fire or electric or whatever you're trying to do by a ton. So I think her and Venti definitely get way better just with their set bonus, but definitely keep your eye out for that. That's pretty much it when it comes to this banner. Lastly, I would just be sure to make sure you actually can go to pity here if you're going to be pulling for them. But, it doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things. A lot of the stuff with Primo Gems is either that, or you can buy resin at a really bad value. So, you know, I'd probably just go for the pull. Well, I guess the other thing you could consider too is the weapon banner, which I think the weapon banner is actually really good. I'll probably cover that in another video. The weapon banner is, especially if you have a good Claymore user, it's going to be hard to pass up. Also, that the other weapon is going to be good on Klee too. Really solid weapon banner. That's going to do it for this video. If you made it all the way to the end, that's awesome. I really hope it was helpful. If it was, I really appreciate a like. It definitely helps with the channel. And you guys have a good one. Peace.